Hey guys, Angry Beast here bringing you some UZI gameplay on the map Radiation. I'm using the UZI with extended mags, lightweight, steady aim, and marathon. And I really enjoy using the UZI. By far, it's the worst submachine gun in the game. It's got a 45 bullet kill, and you got a about 1,000 round per minute fire rate, as well as high recoil. So this is not definitely the worst gun in the game. Probably the Olympia has to take that cake because, yeah, I just never can seem to get a kill with it. This is a nice little gameplay with the UZI here. I like running extended mags on the UZI because it gives it one advantage over all the other submachine guns. It has almost a 50 round magazine. Makes me think it's a P90 from COD 4, but it's not quite. It's got too much recoil for that and too low of damage. But obviously here my secondary weapon is the M1911 with extended mags. And when I use submachine gun that I'm not too confident in my ability to get kills with, my secondary weapon is very, very, very important. A lot of people dismiss it as, oh, just use the pistol you like, when it's not just that. There's more to picking a secondary weapon than liking the gun. Right here, I really wish I had my Marathon Pro from Modern Warfare 2, because not being able to jump over obstacles fast is huge. That's what I'd love to be able to do with this gun, is to just run circles around people. That's what I did with it in Modern Warfare 2. I ran the mini Uzi and just absolutely ran trains on people because they just weren't expecting me to come up from where I did. But the recoil isn't too bad on the mini Uzi, the Uzi in this game. It's not comparable to any other weapon really, other than maybe, let's see, Modern Warfare 3. You have the Barrett, which is similar recoil if you just fire at this rate. Maybe a little bit less than that, but it's got pretty intense recoil. Maybe the PM9 comes close to the recoil. Actually, it's very comparable to the G18 when I think about it now. The G18 and this are very, very similar in a lot of respects. They both do 45 bullet kills in Modern Warfare 3, and they both do the same, about the same fire rate, about 1,000 rounds per minute. So they're very, very comparable. If you can understand the G18 from Modern Warfare 3, you can stand the mini Uzi. The Uzi has a 32 round clip, which gives it some advantage when you run extended mags. You've got a colossal clip of 48 rounds. Right here I missed, and that's just showing the recoil there even more. But when you're using a gun like the Uzi, which I'm not comfortable at any semblance of long range, it's very, very important to play the map to your advantage. If you notice right here, I jump out and I knife him because I wouldn't feel comfortable actually shooting him there. I don't think I actually get any kills with the sniper rifle I pick up there. I was just running low on ammo on my pistol, and it's always a good idea to swap out your pistol for an actual gun, even though the snipers aren't much of a gun in this game. Right here I made the mistake of running out of him before my health had fully recovered. He was using a FAMAS and I was trying to use the Uzi, and that's generally not going to work out. The FAMAS is basically better than this in every feasible way. It's got the same fire rate, it's got more damage over range. But, you know, I digress. We've talked about that before. FAMAS is easily the best weapon in the game. Maybe the AUG has a fighting chance against it, but for most situations the FAMAS has more predictable recoil, which makes it better in a lot of situations. But I'm using the tactical insertion, the flashbangs, and frag grenades. I really do enjoy using a tactical insertion on a gun like this, even though I am using lightweight and marathon already. It's good for objective game modes like demolition, which is what I was playing before this. And if you can get a good plant with a tactical insertion, then it's very, very hard for them to get defused if you're constantly tac inserting in their face. The only other second tier perk I would honestly recommend with the Uzi would be Scout Pro, to pick up weapons faster and swap your weapons faster. Steady aim is really good, but sleight of hand isn't going to help you much, mainly because the recoil is so high, you're not going to be aiming down sights half the time anyway. And the fast reload isn't too important when you got 48 rounds at your disposal, so you're best off just going with steady aim and hip firing all the time and using its faster recovery and knifing to your advantage. Right there, as you can see, the Uzi isn't too effective at close range. A panic knife will still win against it, but what are you going to do? It's a fun gun to use, and if you want to use a gun that's very humiliating to die to, use the Uzi. Right here, I'm just spraying and praying with my pistol and pick him up with the last 2 bullets with a headshot. That's like a little funny turn in events there. But when I use my pistols, basically there's 2 that I'll consider because of their high capacity. I'll consider the M1911 and I'll consider the CZ75. If you want a faster swapping pistol, maybe use the ASP because it's got a 7-round mag and it's got the fastest swap time of all the pistols. The CZ75 is a little bit longer swap time than all the other pistols, but it doesn't suffer from an akimbo swap time deficit like all the other pistols do. So there's a lot of trade-offs when choosing a pistol, but overall I think the M1911 is one of the best all-around pistols because it's got an average swap time, nice 14-round magazine. It's terrible akimbo though. Oddly enough, its hip-fire accuracy is even worse than normal with akimbo. But when you run it with extended mags, you're going to get a nice 14-round clip and a fast swap time, which is important when you're using a gun like the UZI that isn't so powerful at close range or at long range. That you have a good secondary weapon to fall back on. My perks here are obvious when you're playing aggressive. You want lightweight for the faster move speed, and the no fall damage is a nice plus. Steady aim is obvious again. I already talked about that, but the improved hip fire accuracy is huge when using a gun like the UZI because you're not going to be able to aim down sights half the time. When you can, flash your targets if you know they're there, because that'll leave them hopeless so that you can actually have a fighting chance to kill them with an UZI. But the third tier perk choice is basically between Ninja and Marathon. I don't find Ninja to be too important. I don't think many people run headsets that are playing the game anymore. So back in the day, though, I used to run Ninja all the time. I was an adamant user of it. But now it doesn't seem as necessary as it once was. So I'll use Marathon all the time now. The increased sprint is just amazing. Being able to run from one side of the map to the other without stopping is very, very cool. But one thing I really wish they did is they brought back the Marathon Pro from Modern Warfare 2. Faster jump over things is really, really useful, especially when you're using a submachine gun, because it takes so long to climb over a freaking windowsill. It's ridiculous. But this Uzi isn't too bad when you're aiming down sights. It's still worth a couple kills. Its recoil isn't the worst, like some people say. It's manageable, and its hip fire is pretty good. So you're not completely gimping yourself when you use this gun, even though it is the worst submachine gun by far. It's still worth a couple kills. This ends up being, like, I believe, a 31 and 11 gameplay with it, so I'm happy with it. It's the best I got with 2 or 3 games played with it. Fun gun to use, and overall, it's definitely the best troll gun. It's so humiliating when you die to it. Oh, man, I raged so hard when I died to a Uzi. It's not even funny. Yeah, the tactical insertion isn't very useful in a domination setup because there aren't too many places you can put it where you're not going to be in rushing distance from where you spawn to the objective. But in a demolition or, no, search and destroy doesn't matter, but demolition or maybe even a team deathmatch role, it's useful to be able to pop up in the same place every single time. Not as useful in team deathmatch because there's a lot of places in TDM where you can hang out, and having one spot you're constantly tack inserting in isn't as useful. A lot of people are complaining I don't play the objective in my gameplay, so I'm just running around killing people. And that's not true. In a lot of situations, yes, I do assign myself the Slayer role of the team, because I can feel confident doing that. But as you can see right here, I jumped on it with absolutely no one else on the flag. I'm willing to cap a flag for the team. I'll die a couple times just to get the flag cap. Right there, the guy was hiding inside his own Nova Gas. It's a really good tactic there. If you know how to use it effectively, it can really throw people off, especially if you're on a suppressed gun. He wasn't using a suppressor on his M16, but it's still a very, very useful tactic. I don't believe this is express gameplay. This is just standard 6v6 dom. And that's where I'd actually recommend using the Uzi. Because if you're not going to run lightweight and Marathon, I'd recommend Ghost and Suppressor with it. Mainly because you're going to want every advantage you can get. And as it is, you have one advantage of clip size over some other submachine guns. I believe the MPL has the same clip size at 32 default. And MPL can't have extended mags. It has dual mags instead. But that's all things. One thing I think they really should have done with the Uzi to give it a fighting chance to get some other submachines. Just give it a Kimbo. That'd be so awesome. Run with two Uzis in your hand, feeling like a super gangsta. But no, I drop on this guy's head right here. It's lucky that I didn't just run forward off of him. That's one tip I can give you. If you start shaking around, look down, chances are you're on top of someone's head. It actually happens a lot in this game. A lot of people like to sit in those little alcoves there. I don't like it personally, but a lot of people seem to think it's effective, even though you can just drop on someone's head and absolutely annihilate them from above. But yeah, Akimbo would be very, very good for the Uzi, but I don't believe it exists. It'd be the best Akimbo submachine gun, mainly because it has a higher clip size, and with 2 of them, you have a fighting chance at close range. You'd be capable of doing what would be the equivalent of a 2-shot kill, and you wouldn't be able to aim down sights, which isn't too big of a deal with the Uzi, considering its recoil as crazy as it is. And hipfire recoil on this is oddly very, very low. It acts a lot like the Scorpion from MW3, in that when you hipfire, you don't have very, very, very much recoil, but when you aim down sights, you have crazy recoil. But anyways, that was the 31-11 Uzi gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Angry Beast, and I'm signing out.